The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It's Monday, September the 16th. I'm Nick Eatman, and wow, we got some things to talk about. That happened. That did happen like that. Saints 44, Cowboys 19. Who expected that one? I know I write down the predictions when you guys throw them out there, and I didn't see anything remotely close to that one way or another. Even blowouts for the Cowboys, certainly not a blowout for the Saints. But that's what happened, and we're going to talk about it here. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. I'm sure we have a lot of opinions about this and the personnel and the coaches and the players and the schemes and all this stuff of what went wrong. And it'd be easier to just find what went right. And I guess it's Brandon Aubrey. Okay, that's it. Now we'll move to the other sides, and it was just bad all the way around. The defense could not stop anyone. You guys saw it. 6 touchdowns in a row by the Saints. They probably put their foot off the gas in the second half. The Cowboys were moving the ball. They just couldn't score touchdowns and match them. And touchdowns and field goals. Even doesn't take a math major to know that's not gonna add up. So that's what happened, and you find yourself with a 25-point blowout at home, something that just hasn't happened around here in a long, long time. I just looked it up. It was 2020 last time the Cowboys lost this bad at home. It was to Arizona, Kyler Murray, in the game that was kind of like that they just couldn't stop him at all. So, all right, let's we'll hear from you guys. The phone lines are already. The caller's already calling in, so let's get after it here. Al in Merkel, Texas is first. Al, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on?
How are you?
Hey, well, I'm good. The sun rose here in Merkel, so it's good. I have a quick analogy right quick, and then I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to get off because I'm sure there's plenty of people that want to vent.
Appreciate
it. But I had an old fiddle player tell me one time, I'm a musician, and he goes, once you step on stage, you become an SOB. And it's one of those, that SOB can surely play that instrument, or that SOB cannot play at all. And I think it's similar to the last week we were going to the Super Bowl, and this week we're not going anywhere.
Yep.
So the question I have for you, and I wasn't worried about this game until I heard somebody's analogy, and I can't remember who did it, but they said that it was a form of what the 49ers offense, what they run, or something like that. And once I heard that, that's when I didn't become worried because it's the second game of the season. But once I did hear that, I was like, we may be having problems. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we were like a sieve letting water through. I just want to get your opinion because I don't think I'm smart enough to figure it out. But what is it about this offense that gives us so much problems, no matter who the coordinator is, no matter who the players are? And I'll hang up and listen for your reply. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think that appreciate the call. I mean, what's given this team problems if you have some speed backs, quick backs that can get to the edge. I mean, that's and it's not necessarily like fast, fast backs that run in the 4-2 range. It's just you got to be quick off the edge. But when you look at the backs that have kind of hurt this team, even Aaron Jones he's kind of a quick scat back type. Cook from Buffalo. Connor is he's a big guy in Arizona, but he can move. I mean, he was moving pretty good that day, and then of course Kamara he's kind of a different beast. But I think it's McCaffrey. Throw that guy in there. So those type of backs have been the ones with this scheme. With the play action, the deep ball. Threat, and then once you get that working, I mean, I thought the Saints did it perfectly for how they schemed the game. They said we're going to throw crossing routes over the middle, and we're going to move the ball that way, and we're going to kind of soften them up. We're going to hit Kamara every now and again on the edges, and then on the second drive, we're going to hit him deep over the top, and then from there they could basically do what they wanted to do. So I say this all the time. It's about having an offense that can just win in multiple ways. And Derek Carr was throwing it deep, throwing it short, throwing it over the middle, running Kamara on the inside, running Kamara on the outside, mixing up different backs, having reverses. They did a really nice job. They were physical. They were very physical at the line of scrimmage, and they were smart with how they schemed against Micah Parsons. They really didn't make him a factor in the game. So you take away the best player, and you run at the edges. Make the cornerbacks tackle. I mean, that's what they did. They made them be physical, and the Cowboys weren't as physical in that game. All right, let's go to Anthony in Miami.
Nate the Quick, my guy, what's up?
How are you?
Trying to get the early one in. Got the old lady in the store, so I said, babe, let me sit out in the car because it's time to call my guy. We're going a little, we cleared the phone stuff, so, we're doing a little bit better.
Yeah,
so we're
going
to put some things in the house.
There you go.
Yeah, so check this out. One for you and Chris, one for the fans, and then my point. I'm going to segue into the Michael Parsons thing. That's my point. Okay, for you and Chris, I love y'all. Y'all my guys, $100,000. But you know what? I'm never calling y'all 3 times in one show. So to that guy, man, kudos to you if you're trying to make the team and all you love them like that. But I love them, but I ain't calling 3 times in one show.
Yeah.
Number 2, to the fans. Y'all know these TV pundits and all these people, a lot of them hate the Cowboys. They love to play games. Even if the Cowboys win, they're going to diminish the win. Don't listen to them. Don't get a headache. Don't go to the Tylenol run and all that, letting these people give y'all a headache because they're going to do it. Now, it was shameful what the Cowboys put out there yesterday. So I feel for Mr. Jones. I feel for the Cowboys players' families and the fans, not the players, because they had to endure that. And a lot of it was scheme and a lot of it was them. My last point, and the one, Michael Parsons is becoming my second favorite present player now. You know Dak Prescott is my favorite. Now, with Micah, yeah, he said he took accountability, and he didn't play well. He didn't play well in the Green Bay game. But when Michael Parsons is wrecking shop, your best player, 3-time All-Pro in 3 years, when he's wrecking shop, everybody on the D-line eats, as he did last week. So nobody can deny that to the ones who wanted him traded and hate him or whatever, dislike him. But when he's not doing it, can somebody help him? Can they scheme up ways to get your best player to get some action and help the team win? That's all I want to say, man. Yeah. Cowboys for life, no matter win, lose, or draw. Hopefully we get this thing right. Love you, Nick, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for the call, Anthony. Good stuff. You're right about that. I mean, Micah's not playing, he's not wrecking shop in the game because he's just getting blocked one-on-one and, he can't – it's just not his day. That's not the case. I mean, if you go watch the game, they do a really good job of scheming away from him and then doing the backside help with whether it be a running back or a tight end or even another lineman. So he was getting doubled pretty much most of the game. Not only doubled, but then also, moved away from him. So all that being said, with these awesome linebackers that we were talking about all week, and then Tank on the other side and the defensive tackles in the middle, you'd like to think somebody could help with that. And again, nobody's getting a pass here unless you're Brendan Aubrey because he did everything you were supposed to do. But other than that, and I'm not saying Micah played well. I'm just saying I think we know what happens. You can take him away, but you shouldn't be able to take a guy away and not give up something else. Think about it in any sport, basketball. If you double team someone, somebody's get open. And so you would think somebody from in front of the Cowboys would be able to make more plays like that. But, I mean, the Saints just – everything the Cowboys tried, the Saints just had a better answer. And give them credit. You have to give them credit. The team barely practiced last week. They had to move early, had to leave, move around because of the hurricane there, and they got here I think earlier than they were supposed to. Either way, it was kind of a dysfunctional week. You would have never known because they were so good in everything. They were just, I wouldn't even say a step ahead. They were like 3 steps ahead, and that's what happens. That's why you win by 25 on the road. All right, Bruce in Houston.
Hey, good morning, Nick.
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. One game don't make a season. We all know that, but that was disgusting, obviously. I'm from Houston, and I watched the Texans last night, and I know this didn't affect the game, but my God, there was more Saint fans in the stadium. You could hear them throughout the game, not just in the fourth quarter or after third quarter or when it was over, but stop selling the stupid tickets and be a team and support your team and out yell the other team. There might be a few people that are rooting for the other team, the Bears, but they drowned them out. And that's just one little thing. But to me, if McCarthy gets let gone, I think they should go after a West Coast offense type coach. I mean, because that offense seems to just work so good. Dak threw a lot of good throws. It wasn't all on him, but some of them he left his wide receivers out to dry, and he's got to put some zip on the ball. And we need that more from, the $60 million man. Now, I realize he didn't play defense, and I'm afraid that I think they're going to need to trade Micah Parsons because is he a linebacker or is he a defensive end? To me, they got to the edge so easily, Nick, and he's got to contain that. And I didn't see that from him. He's trying to get the stats of the sack, and do your position. But I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah.
Good show.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. That right there is the epitome of a call for this type of day. Bruce he's called several times. I think he was on the all-StoryLine team last year, all that. And you can just hear the frustration there, because it's like, as a fan, you want to say the things or you do say the things you're supposed to say. Like, first thing out of your mouth, Bruce, one game doesn't make a season. But 45 seconds later, we're talking about if McCarthy gets fired and another coach that comes in or trading Micah Parsons, I get it. I understand what's the thought process of just how you want to say, all right, it's early in the season, but you're already kind of thinking, what if it's not good? What if this thing doesn't work? We got to trade Micah. We got to get a new West Coast offense. I get it. I'm not hating on the call at all. I understand that. Like I'm saying, I kind of go through that with my own team a little bit. You want to be rational in an irrational situation, which is kind of what this seems to be. So. Yeah, nobody played well. I mean, on defense for sure. It was just. I mean, Micah Parsons is supposed to play better than that. He said it. He took accountability for it too. But you want him. But he needs help. I mean, they all need help. They all need help. But the offense, Dak, he missed some throws too. I mean, he missed, and again, him and CD were off a little bit. I don't know who's to blame there. One guy was in training camp, one guy wasn't. You'd like to think, well, Dak should know where he's throwing on that ball. And again, the slightest change here and there can make that throw. I'm talking about the one where CD's going down the seam. I mean, it looks like it's right there. He throws it more to the outside and straight on. And either way, it looked like it should have been a touchdown for sure. Looked like he had Zeke in the flat. He did have Zeke in the flat. That was probably going to be a touchdown, if not close to the first down sticks. And instead, they get a field. And that's field goals. Now, I get it. You lost by 25 points, so it's hard to just look at certain plays here and there. And you guys, if you see on the website, I've done this article for 15, 16 years. Don't forget these 5 plays and. Those games like that, it's hard to just find a play like this would have changed everything. But when you get early in the game and you get touchdown chances and you turn them into field goals, I mean that's that's 8 points right there. That you're leaving on the table. I think they're down 35-16. I mean if it's 35-24 at the half. I mean, with the ball coming out of the second half, I mean, you're obviously thinking a little bit different there, but you just couldn't keep up, at all, and that was a problem there. All right, Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Lewis.
Not much. I'm arguing with people in my fantasy league about Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones, and I'm about to just put everybody on Do Not Disturb because. I look at the game and I'm there's blame to go all around. You can blame Dak if you want to. He didn't play great, but to me it all started with the defense. When a team can come into your house and score 6 times without being stopped, you can't get them off on third down. To me, paying Dak does nothing to you you're basically putting Dak in a hole anyway. You're telling Dak, hey, go play defense if that's the case. I don't understand why people. The biggest thing I'm dealing with people at my job. The first thing they want to say, see, you shouldn't have paid Dak,
No.
and I'm like, but Dak don't play defense. He can't make a tackle.
Lewis, you've got to. You know when it's 4th and 1 and the team's pinned back and they're really going to punt it, but they sit there and they're hard counting, hoping that you would jump off sides. That's what these people are doing in your office right there. I'm sorry, that's all they're trying to do. Is the people that really don't have a football team, those are the ones you got to worry about. Those are or not even worry about, but those are the ones that chirp. The ones that don't really have a team. If they have a team. And maybe and they're winning, so they're 2-0. Okay, you deal with that. But if you deal with that person in the office and you're like, who's your team? And they're like, I don't really like football. Then shut the front door all day long and lock it. Okay, because that's the kind of stuff you got to deal with that crap. And I have another point about Dak, but go ahead. I'll let you finish off here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you because it's one of those things where their team is whoever is playing the Cowboys, and I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue with you. That's fine. But if you're going to have an argument, have a valid argument. And like I said, it's one of those things where I'm talking to people and I'm kind of looking at it like I'm not excusing Dak. He the first interception, the receiver slipped. The second interception, Dak threw into double coverage. I'm not excusing him, but you can't run the ball. They're not even attempting to run the ball anymore. I don't know what's going on. Like, is it a deuce thing? Are you trying to figure out who's going to run the ball? I'm kind of mad at McCarthy for doing that. Like, once you see that the scheme isn't working or the plays you're not making the adjustments. That little pass to Turpin worked one time, and then you throw about 4 or 5 more times, and they sniff it out. So why not? Why keep doing it? Like, it's one of those things where you can't. There's blame to go all around, and I just, like you said, I work in a warehouse, but I'm in the warehouse arguing because the first thing somebody want to say is, well, Dak this and Dak that, and I'm like, so did you even watch the game or did you watch highlights? Because clearly the whole game, it wasn't Dak, it was everybody else. So, but I'll leave you with that. Yeah. I'll listen. I ain't gonna stay on too long.
That's all right.
Yeah, like you said, everybody is frustrated right now, but it's week 2.
Yeah.
We'll move on. I'm already trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Ravens. So, later.
All right, man. All right, Lewis. I could just picture that. I could just picture the warehouse, those guys down there, don't have a team, just want to talk, and didn't say anything last week. Just last week, it didn't even come up, didn't even know about it. I wasn't watching football last week, but this week it's funny how everybody has an opinion. That's the nature of it. That's the thing. Dak signed his contract last week actually, but yeah, the contract talk has come up a lot more in this week. It's funny how that happens. The thing is about Dak is he didn't play well. I'm not saying he played well in the game. But I do think that it's a challenge when, number one, your defense isn't stopping anyone. So it's a touchdown every time. Just to stay on pace here, you have to score a touchdown every time. And not only that, but now when you get to your side of the ball, you've got to do it all because there is no running game. There is no running game. And I said last week, you guys were concerned, and I said it's one game. They ran it when they needed to against the Browns. Then everything kind of changed. Small sample size for me. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we've had 2 weeks. Now they needed to run the football, and they could not. And they were trying everybody under the sun to try to run the football with, and it's not working. So Dalvin Cook I would think he's got to be next. He's got to be next up here. Well, why not? Why bring him in if he's not ready to go? Why bring him in if you're not going to try him is really what I'm saying. He wasn't ready. You put him on the practice squad, but now we'll see what happens. But, there's just a lot. That's a lot on a quarterback when you're not giving them any help on defense and no help on the running game. And so it's like, all right, you got to score every time. They moved it, but we know what happens when you can't run the ball inside the 20. It's going to be tougher to score, and especially when you're down and teams are like, you can have a field goal. We'll give you that. We'll give you, a little bit here and there, but we're not giving you a lot more than that. So, all right, Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
What's up, Nick?
How you doing?
Well, it's a great day. The sun rose, and there's always next week and the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm still concerned about our run game. You just answered every question I was going to ask in that last call, so
sorry,
I ain't
man.
got a whole lot to say. That's all right, man.
Well,
you hit the nail on the head, I agree.
Robbie? Who would you try to put it in the running? I mean, how would you try to fix it at this point? What would you do?
Good Lord, we've talked about this a bit, man. I don't even know if our season running back is on the team yet. I mean, I don't know if if Zeke doesn't have it or Deuce or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Cooks is the one. I know he went down last year.
Yeah, you just got to keep trying stuff, I guess.
You got to keep plugging them in and hope somebody fits and somebody works and it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our offensive line looks like they're making holes. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
100%. This is the Monday morning after a 25-point loss. I mean, it's just like it's tough to find the answers. I appreciate you trying.
And you know what? Talk about that run game, man. Maybe if we had a run game a little bit, we could have given our defense a little break to catch their breath, get their chin back up, and okay, my feet are under me. Let me make a stop here. But our defense was on the field, man. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of time of possession difference in the beginning because they're so fast, but they got to be gassed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could make that argument, but also they were giving up like 2-play drives. I mean, some of them were just big plays, so it's not like they were on the field a whole lot either. It was just a disaster. I mean, that's just
I agree. And Alvin Kamara, I thought, I was like, oh, this guy, he's getting old now. He's got to be losing a step. He looked like he gained a step against us, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked phenomenal. I mean,
and Taysom Hill looked like a 22-year-old 6'8" quarterback.
Yeah. So he got knocked out of the game. But tough. Yeah. All right, Robbie.
All right, Nick. Have a good one, and we got next week. We're always one step away, man.
All right.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, brother.
Have a good one. All right, Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida. We are going to take our first break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back to answer more of your calls.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The Ravens are coming to town this Sunday. There's limited tickets available. Check out SeatGeek for the 2024 Dallas Cowboys season all year long to check out all the games coming into Arlington. You've got the Lions, Texans, Bengals, Bucks, along with the NFC East rivals, Eagles, Giants, and Commanders. Go to SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's keep this thing going. Albert in Tucson, Arizona is next up. Albert?
Hey, good morning, Nick.
Morning.
Good morning to you and the producer extraordinaire over there.
Uh-huh.
Two things. Brandon Aubrey. It's been blessing in disguise, right?
Right. He's good.
When do you think we could say, we need this little gadget play or something that could be just that little thing to turn the tide, to turn the momentum in special teams, a fake field goal or to go for that extra 4 yards or the fake punt, because we haven't really seen much of that.
Yeah.
When do you think we're going to be seeing more of that this season? And two, I don't know. I mean, I think I hate to say it, but these Cowboys need a hype man. You know, when that team, the other team scores a touchdown, it's like their face. You can see the expressions in their faces, and you know they get blasted on TV, and you know they're looking with that empty stare. Do you think like a hype man or a hype person would be beneficial for our team? You know, to kind of say, hey, come on, you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You know, the game's 60 minutes. You know, we gotta keep our mind focused. You know, do your reads, Dak. You know, stay focused. Every progression, make sure you go through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Defense, you know, stay in your gaps, stay in your lanes. You know, don't be out of position. Even the coaches, you know, say, hey, you know, change it up. Do you think a position like that would be beneficial to I don't know, to change it up a little bit? Because it's kind of, that's like what we always see, you know, that that team comes and scores, and all of a sudden, you know, they put Dak's blank stare on the TV, or it's not so much just Dak, but you know, any player.
Yeah.
But anyway, hope you all are good.
All right.
God bless you guys. Stay safe, and go Cowboys.
All right, Albert. You know, all I can think of is when you're saying that is that I don't know where the Cowboys rank in the league in assistant coaches, but they've got to be up there. Okay, I mean, I feel like there's like 25 to 30 assistant coaches. One of those guys should be able to do that, and I feel like that they do. And you know, I don't like to always throw contracts and money out there, but you know, it's a profession, and this isn't college. It's not high school where, you know, there's some guy on the sideline with some, you know, medium T-shirt and a fake mustache and all that, and they don't need to have a chain and a belt. And when they get a turnover, I mean, you get that every Tuesday when they get paid. I mean, that is their incentive to go out there and do everything they're supposed to do and be hyped up and be ready and be prepared and all this kind of stuff. I just think if Dak throws an interception and he's sitting there, and then who's going to come over and say, hey, you know, it's okay, pick it up. I mean, I just disagree with that because I don't – they have enough guys like that. They have players – I mean, think about it. Every practice squad player is sitting there eating sunflower seeds. I mean, they have those guys. But at the end of the day, you've got to be the one to go and make the play. So, you know, if you can't get hyped by what's in front of you and winning the game, I mean, I don't know if some practice squad running back or a quality control coach or whoever else is going to be able to do it. I mean, that's just my take on that. All right, Bob in Rio Grande Valley.
Good morning, Nick.
Hey, Bob.
I tell you what, like the rest of the listeners, I didn't see this coming. It sure caught me unaware.
Yeah, me too.
Couple observations, if I may. 2 yards a carry isn't going to cut it. Deuce isn't going to cut it. We need Dalvin Cook in there, and if he doesn't get the job done, I don't know what we're going to do about the running game. But let me tell you what, the defense, our defense, didn't get gassed yesterday. Hell, they weren't on field long enough to get gassed. The Saints were scoring at will. They came in and took us like Grant took Richmond. I don't know what the answer is, but I tell you one thing: we sure need to regroup. McCartney and the gang need to huddle up and make some decisions and go a different direction, because yesterday is definitely not going to cut it.
Agreed. And I think they know that. Thank you for the call. I think they know, everyone would know this is not going to cut it. You obviously can't lose to a Saints team at home. And who knows how good the Saints are. I mean, maybe they are good. I mean, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. If you're the type of team that you think you're going to be, you shouldn't be losing to anybody, you know, by 25 points or whatever. So it's a wake up call for sure. And now we'll see what they're made of. We'll see how they respond, and we'll see how when Baltimore comes in. I mean, they're going to be desperate too. I mean, they're 0-2, and they probably feel like they should be 2-0, but they're not. And so they're going to be ready to go. And if you think stopping, and as I'm watching highlights of Alvin Kamara, stopping him in the open field is going to be tough. I mean, how about Lamar Jackson, who also can throw it? And so, just the dynamic of trying to stop him is going to be tough. So they're going to have to figure out something there with their linebackers. I was disappointed by the way that they played. I thought they were very, manhandled was what I kept seeing. I mean, I thought that they got handled in every way. And Kendricks didn't look the same. Overshown wasn't out there a whole lot, and a lot of questions about that. Why wasn't he there as much? So, it's one of those things where it's one game, but it was a bad one, and it was a very bad one. And now we'll see how they, if this is really what they are, or Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy and Dak. Everyone said like this is not who we are. So, that's the thing. You get 15 more chances to kind of prove one way or another. All right, let's go to Rob in Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Rob.
Listen, it was a disaster, but what really bothered me is I thought I was watching the Packers playoff game. It looked exactly like that. A team came in, we didn't, Cowboys were favored, home, and the game started off, they got punched in the mouth, and they never recovered. And listen, it's only week 2, but there are some tendencies that we see. This defense is built for third down. It's not built for first and second. The teams that are able to get us in third and short usually have their way with this defense. Micah, as great as he is, he's not good against the run when they run at him. And he's even smaller this year, I think they said, by about 10 pounds. So if you saw the game, that's what they did. They ran right at him.
Yep.
Offensively, I don't think Dak trusts the O-line yet. I don't think Mike McCarthy trusts the O-line yet. I don't think they were very good. I thought Guyton struggled and Steele struggled. And we've seen in the past that if Dak doesn't trust his left tackle, he doesn't play good. Now, I didn't think he played bad. He was put in a bad spot. We have no playmakers on offense other than CeeDee Lamb. They need to find another wide receiver that can make a play, break a tackle, maybe try to Flournoy. Brooks, I've seen enough of him. Try the other kid. Running game, that's you can't judge the running game on that game. We were down by so much. Now, I do believe this week you bring up Cooks and you bench Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn gives you nothing. As much as we like the kid, he's just too much of a liability in pass protection. So when he's in the game, they pretty much know it's going to be a run.
Yeah,
but
he can.
You can't jump ship yet. But the only thing that bothers me is this defense. They're going to see it in 7 days, 6 days now. The same thing. The Ravens are going to punch them in the mouth. The Eagles are going to punch them in the mouth. The Lions are going to punch. That's what teams are going to do because they know the Cowboys are built not only physically, but I think it's more so mentally. They want to play third down. Micah Parsons wants every down to be 3rd and 7. He doesn't want to get blocked by a guy that outweighs him by almost 100 pounds. And that's what you saw. And, yes, I don't understand the Overshown thing. Damone Clark, to me, is not good. He wasn't good last year. He gets blown up. Overshown did not play great when I seen him. But I would definitely ride Overshown over Damone Clark. I don't know. Maybe Zimmer will say why he was benched. Also, Zeke was benched in the beginning. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on there. But that's the only thing that bothers. This offense has not looked good for 2 weeks. They just look okay. CeeDee Lamb and Dak, I predicted they were going to go off, and they did, but they didn't. They're not on the same page. But honestly, I think Dak's clock this offense is not comfortable. You see, everything is like a struggle right now just to get first downs. The play calling is kind of odd. They're not pushing the ball down the field. They're trying reverse after reverse. They're trying this. Some of the guys that they're trying to feed the ball to, I'm like, why? But we can't panic yet. We're panicking now. This is going to be a bad season.
Right. Well, all right, Rob. Thank you. If you listen to your call and then you ask people not to panic, I mean, the people that trust the things you say are probably going to panic because you did throw a lot of stuff out there that didn't sound good. I hear you though. I don't disagree with most of that at all. I do think though it's not too early to say that the running game is a problem because yes, you lost by 25 points, but you can still run the football when you need to get down there and score. Just because you're down by 21 or 18 or whatever and you're down inside the red zone, that doesn't mean you can't run it. I mean, that's a lot of time left. So you score. That's what you got to do. You got to score touchdowns. But you're right. I think it's time to see Dalvin Cook. You got Derrick Henry coming to town with Lamar Jackson there. And they're certainly gonna run the ball. I mean, the difference though is you'd think. I mean, Carr was phenomenal throwing the football down the field. I mean, he was perfect in a lot of his passes. And so some of those teams you mentioned, they don't have quarterbacks like that. They have different type of quarterback that'll scare you in different ways. But it's gonna be a challenge all the way through, though. You're right, though. That's the recipe, is try to run the ball, and there's no secret. I mean, that's what they tried last year. Tried to do the exact same thing last year, it just didn't work all the time. But when teams do get to run the ball, they get the lead, they get comfortable, they're running it, and they're playing downhill. That's the recipe that we're seeing to beat the Cowboys. All right, Jeremy in Salt Lake City.
Hey, Nick, what a difference a week makes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a lot of things Rob said right before me, I'm right kind of in lockstep with. As far as the running game, I think, everybody's, he said something about Deuce. The guy that really has been more disappointing than anybody is Rico, man. He was supposed to be the guy that has all the juice and he's shown it kind of in the past, but Zeke is giving us pretty much what we all expected. He had actually a couple nice runs. Deuce had a nice run or two, but it just seems like Rico is the guy that's really not really giving anything extra as far as I'm concerned. And then the biggest thing I thought, and obviously we got ran on, but this pass rush is nothing like it was last year, and that really scares me. I think the loss of Sam Williams is really starting to be felt. There were times when Derek Carr had all day to throw yesterday, and the past 3 years we're not that defense. We're not that defense where the quarterback can sit back and pick us apart. Obviously, just like Rob said, it looked a lot like that Green Bay game, and it scares me. I mean, I know we always kind of have a turd in the middle of in the very beginning of the season. We have that one game that we always look back on, and like the Arizona game last year, and but this one really, really made me nervous how it looked a lot like that Green Bay game because it's just being inconsistent. But I think that pass rush is the key because that's what really set us apart in previous years. And man, it's looking a little anemic now. But like I said, every week's a new week. I'm not going to give up now. It's not all doom and gloom, but I think we need a shot in the arm. Obviously, a little bit in the running game, maybe with Cook, but that pass rush, I think, is something that we all need to kind of look at and evaluate. But I'll get off.
All right,
thanks a lot for all you do, guy.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that. I'm with you. I was expecting more out of Rico, and they've given him some opportunities there. Zeke is kind of what it is, but you thought there'd be a little bit more juice with Rico or Deuce or somebody, and it just hasn't happened. So It's back to the drawing board there, and maybe that's Dalvin Cook. As for pass rush, you're right. I mean, Sam Williams, that was supposed to be the guy. They let Dorrance Armstrong go, and Dante Fowler left, and it was supposed to be, really relying heavily on Sam Williams to kind of step up and in that year 3 and do it. And unfortunately, he had the injury, and now that they've tried to piece that together, and that they've tried to find some defensive ends so far. That they didn't really find one that it's not even on the roster, and all the guys that they brought in at camp. So they're still struggling there, and it hasn't been the same. It's only been 2 games, but still, the pass rush was there for sure in the first game. It just wasn't here, and I think the difference is that it's the run defense. When you're not stopping the run, then you don't have to throw the ball. I mean, they don't have to throw it. So that was the problem. When they do, they've got it schemed really, really perfect in this game. So, all right, we're going to take a break here. Last one on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back to answer a couple more calls.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys Game Day is brought to you by Captain Morgan, the official spiced rum of the NFL. The NFL season is full of legendary tales on and off the field. And when you follow the captain within you, stories become stuff of legends. So gather your crew and visit followthecaptain.com to begin your adventure. Please drink responsibly. Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum, 35% alcohol by volume. Captain Morgan Rum Company, New York, New York. Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Come shop at the Star in Frisco on Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Flea Styles Market at the Star, presented by Marketplace by Michaels. Admission is free. Visit thestardistrict.com for more information. All right, let's keep this thing going. We've got Tim and Grapevine calling. Tim, what's up?
Mr. Nick, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. How you doing?
I had to clean my eyeballs out with soap and water after that performance. That was about as bad as I've seen on defense in a long time. But I don't want to talk about the defense. I know that's an issue. You know what? They'll find some sort of a Band-Aid. But the offense was equally as bad. I know they scored some points, but
not equally. I'm sorry.
Well, okay,
not equally.
Not equally.
But it was bad. Yeah.
The EPA on offense was terrible. Points per drive obviously spoke for itself. And at this juncture, I mean, that's McCarthy's. That's his baby, if you will. This is his second season in control of the offense, and I know there might be a talent issue, but there's no creativity. There's no movement. They don't stress the defense. All you have is CeeDee Lamb's athleticism and talent. You don't even really move him to get him in mismatches. And so at this point, maybe I'm too negative or pessimistic. This feels like a lame duck season. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well,
I'll hang it.
Okay. All right, Tim. I mean, I'm not going to ever say that. I mean, it's week 2, and you've played the first game, there was a lot of what's not to like. The second game, what's to like. So, I mean, if it's just not going to, I mean, I say it all the time. I use the roller coaster analogy, and this is exactly what it is. This is the highs and the lows, and they're 1-1. They're 1-1. I mean, this is kind of where they are right now. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks to see. But I think the issue I can't stress enough. It's the running game. It's the running game on both sides of the ball. That's the thing. If you can figure out how to run the football, they've got to do that. They've got to figure out ways to run this football. If they need to trade for somebody that's there, a backup running back, and get into next year's draft class, do that then. Somebody that's got some juice that can help this running game. That's what they need. And so that's what I would be looking for. If I'm the Cowboys, maybe it's in Dalvin Cook. But if you do that, imagine. Like miraculously, I think Brandon Cooks is better, and Jake Ferguson is better, and all of the guys around there, Jalen Tolbert, are better if you got somebody that can just run the ball. All right, let's go to Seth in Sugar Land, Texas.
It's a dark day, but we still live. We live to fight another day, Nick.
That's right.
So one of the things that I've heard Rob, I've heard everybody. I totally get what everybody is saying. I think it's really interesting that the defensive line for me is the real challenge. Like in going back and watching, a lot of the running plays that the Saints ran, like their ability to zone block and then combo off of one another and just really grinding the defensive line into the ground the entire game. And even when Zimmer brought, the run blitzes from the secondary, Taysom Hill as a fullback was absolutely opening up massive lanes because our safeties simply don't have the beef to come down into the box and blow up a fullback. Like it was a perfectly planned strategy from that Shanahan-style offense, which says, okay, bring a guy into the box. I'll play old school with a fullback, and I'm not going to – and when we're still going to run the ball. And Alvin Kamara looked 20 years younger than what he is. And to me, our defensive line becomes hesitant when they get down by 10 points or more. It's almost like everyone freezes. It feels like everyone loses their instincts to play fast, which is why the Saints look so fast on offense. I mean, obviously they have speed on offense, but even Micah, sometimes he hesitates when they run right at him, and he can't seal the edge. He's not big enough, and actually this is actually a bigger issue, is that guys are always talking about we need to get bigger up front. We need to get bigger in the defensive line. I don't want to get bigger on the defensive line. I want to get stronger on the defensive line. And I think that's one of our big challenges is the defensive line doesn't look strong, and they got turned easily by what is probably looking to be one of the top 10 offensive lines in the NFL from the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. They got manhandled up front. I mean, front seven. Moved around, moved from side to side, turned. I mean, everything that they wanted to do, they did. I mean, it was a perfect game by the Saints, and they look really good right now. I mean, they do. Their quarterback is playing within himself. Their running back is as dynamic as he's ever been. They've got speed on the receivers. They got a playmaker in Olave. What? I
was also like, this is also something people keep saying, like, this reminded me of the Green Bay game. This reminded me of the Green Bay game. And one of the reasons it does is because Dallas for the last 2 weeks has run primarily zone. And that's because probably they're trying to protect the rookie cornerback, right? And last year when Dallas was very successful, they were running man-to-man, right? And I think when they get Deron Bland back, and he gets, his playing legs back underneath him, I'm pretty sure Zimmer will go back to the strength of playing man-to-man, which then frees up those safeties to help more in the running game.
Yep, because they're not – I don't think that's their strength to play zone back there. And you saw it in that deep touchdown. But, right. Malik Hooker, he's done that. Thanks for the call, Seth. Appreciate that. Yeah. And it has to be our last call today. But yeah, and I think Donovan Wilson, I mean, he's just a few pounds away from being a linebacker. I mean, that's really the style that he plays, the mentality that he is. Now, he's a playmaker, though. He gets interceptions, he makes plays, but I think he's better closer to the line of scrimmage than he is back deep. And Hooker, I think, can play it, but I'd like to see a little bit more one safety high. But you're right. I think they are protecting the corners a little bit, and not only him, but probably protecting Trayvon Diggs coming back from injury as well, but teams are going right at him, running the ball and trying to make him be physical. So if you look at what they're doing, who's the best players, who's their top guys on defense? Well, you got Diggs at corner, you got Micah Parsons, and teams are running right at them, and they're not doing the things that that make them great, of letting them rush the passer and letting them go and get interceptions and things like that. It's doing things that they're not as comfortable doing, and you can do that when you got the lead. You're dictating what they want to do on offense, and that's the Saints did that to perfection. So that's the way I saw it. And I agreed with a lot of the callers today. I thought you guys did a really nice job of keeping the frustrations in check. And I get it. I hear it. And they should be frustrated because it is early, but that's not a good sign. Getting beat by 25 points at home to a team that who knows how good they are, but traditionally haven't been good. Derek Carr has not been a stellar quarterback in his career, and so to go and get carved up like that is it's concerning. We'll see how they respond, and we'll talk about it all week long here on Cowboys Storyline. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline. See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,